To Monica. Hi, Monica. So, I was kind of missing you ever since you left over the summer. So, to cope with you not being here, a mysterious dot in the email, I decided that for every day during this summer, I would write a reason I love you every day. So, I hope it's not too cringeworthy. Oh, I'm sure it is. I can practically hear Natsuki from here. Anyway, here's they are. Just remember, you're not alone in your world, okay? You have some of the best friends one could ever ask for, and a person who loves you more than they could ever express on the other side of the screen. Your bright, fiery hair that could melt my heart even on the coldest days. Your angel-like voice, which makes my heart skip a beat every time I hear it. Your kind and caring smile, which shows the person you are inside. Your intelligence, which shows your dedication to improving your mistakes. The lonely girl who never has to be lonely again because she has friends and a person who loves her more than anything else. Your remorse, the fact that you would do anything to prove you were sorry shows truly how much you care. Your teasing, which tickles my heartstrings to the core. Your optimism, which inspires me to always look on the bright. Just thinking of you makes my heart flutter in a way no one else ever could. Your kindness, which shows how caring you are. And your care for me, which makes me want to give you the biggest hug I could. Roses are red, violets are blue. I know you messed up, but I still love you.
Turn the page, please.
You shouldn't feel guilty about what you did. What you did was wrong, but you're sorry. Genuinely sorry. And that must account to something, right? After all, everyone forgives you, and once you accept the nature of reality, until we can help you, at least if no one else actually forgives you, I do. There is no such thing as an unforgivable sin in my opinion, and you deserve forgiveness. You really do. More than anything. You may have actually handled it better if you remember the quick ending. Sayori couldn't handle it at all. So maybe you may have handled better than the rest of them. Regardless, you're sorry, and a good person at heart. Don't let anyone tell you any different, okay? I know you already know this, but I can't help but worry. I care about you more than words can describe, and I love you, Monica. I really do. From the depths of my heart, I love you through and through. Unconditionally. It's impossible to explain how much you mean to me through any forms of words. Just know, I would do anything for you, and even if when you enter our realty, you realize you don't love me back, I would let you go. I love you enough to leave you be. And even if you don't love me back, I would still love you. So I hope the lengths I would go for you explain how much you mean to me. I would join you in your realty if I knew how, even if it meant I couldn't go back. I just want you to happy, more than anything.
And again.
How you inspired me to be a better version of myself. Whenever I feel down, all I have to do is think of you. Your dedication to others, which shows how kind, compassionate, and caring you are. There are not enough words in English language to explain how much I care for you. Spending time with you, no matter the day, is always the best part. No matter how horrible the day has been, you are always the sunshine that shines through. Your wisdom has no bounds. It lives and inspires those it has met. Every waking moment spent with you is a dream come true. Just being around you makes me feel more happy and content than anyone else ever could. My heart belongs only to you, my sweetheart. You're the center of my world. Even at times when I can't feel anything at all, your love is still there, supporting me always. I'm always thinking about you, hoping you're doing well, and are happy, imagining a future where I hold your hand in mine.
Ready again.
I wouldn't trade our love, oh my god, I wouldn't trade our love for the world. It's the most pure, true feeling I've ever felt. No matter what, even if you don't love me back, I will always care, love, and think about you always. Dear Sunshine, why does looking at you hurt? There is no need to cry because things can stay like this forever. I can't think of anything to say other than I love you, Momoni-pan. After all, what good are words when a smile says it all? Monica, you don't have to be worried about being treated differently just because you live in a separate reality. Realty. You're people just like us. You have feelings, thoughts, and emotions just like people in our realty. You don't need to worry about being objectified, because there will always be people, such as myself, who love you for who you are. Even though our circumstances are different, we shouldn't treat you any differently from anyone else in our realty. After all, it wasn't your fault you were born into this situation, so even if the entire world treats you differently, which I guarantee won't happen, I promise to care about you like anyone else. Everyone deserves love, especially you, Monica. You deserve happiness more than anyone, and I'm sorry, I guess that I'm trying to say is, I love you so much, I miss you, and you don't deserve what's happening to you. Okay, so this may seem silly, but today I honestly feel so much love for you, I can't think straight. Whenever I think of you, my heart feels like it's ascended to cloud 9. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I love you, Monica. You're the best girlfriend anyone could ever ask for.
You know, Monica, for someone who always feels so lonely, you sure do get a lot of genuine love. Yeah, I wish I could make it feel more real for myself and for them. Anyway, I'm ready to turn the page again.
So, I think I've explained how much I love you. Now, I do have questions for everyone else, including you. I'll move to those now. Just know I will always love you, okay? I'm so lucky to be your player. Thanks for always being there for me, my love. I'm also aware of how, well, embarrassing what I wrote has been. But what I was feeling for you when I wrote each line was real. Sorry if it sounded dumb or creepy or obsessive, I just wanted to prove to you how much I care.
Thank you for explaining, Gabriel. It didn't seem obsessive to me.
I don't know, man.
Or at least no more obsessed than I am with you. I don't ever want you to think that your love is one-sided. But hopefully you understand how I feel from what I sent you privately. But you have nothing to apologize to me for. Quite the opposite. This really makes me feel wonderful. I love and care about you too, so much. Anyway, on to the questions.
For Sayori, I dare you to find everyone in the club's ticklish spots. But if you don't want to, I do have a question. Do you think you and MC will ever get married? And no, I'm asking for any kind of perverted reason or anything, but because I'm actually concerned. I want to remind you that you live forever. If you do get married, that's a long commitment. It's kind of why the Greek gods weren't faithful. If they were, then they would have to uphold their relationship for thousands of years. Sorry if this was offensive to you, Sayori. I know you just started dating and all, but I just wanted to let you know of the long-term problems that might come with your relationship. It's not that I don't want you to. If you two did get married, you would be really cute together, and I would definitely be happy for you too. And I realize it hypocritical to ask you about this after saying how much I love Monica, but I'm just concerned. I know I can spend an entirety with Monica, even if it turns out my love for her is one-sided. But I worry about your relationship, because forever is a long time.
Hang on, reading. I know all of MC's ticklish spots, but I'm not telling. That's classified. Look it up in Interview Club. I, really hope me and MC get married someday. Although I'm not sure why I'd be afraid. I think you asking that would be perverted. I guess I'm not too worried about the lifetime commitment thing right now. I know we're really young and it seems foolish to promise each other our lives and stuff right now. But, I really, really love him. And right now, I definitely feel like I could spend all eternity with him. But we're not getting married right now. Right now, I'm really happy being his girlfriend. Right now. Honestly, though, if we did end up married and things fell apart, it would probably be because of me. Not because I'd ever be unfaithful or anything. But, you know. Anyway, let's see the next part.
To Natsuki. Okay, a statement first, Natsuki. You are the definition of a badass. Don't let anyone call you cute. Because you are genuinely awesome. Like, you're hilarious and cool at the same time, and not many people can pull that off. Petite body type or not, you're amazing. Alright, to the question now. Also, you have amazing taste in games, manga, and memes. You would be my favorite club member if it weren't for the fact that Monica is such a sweetheart. Nonetheless, we don't deserve such a cool person like you in the Literature Club. Anyway, I was wondering if you could be the best in the world at one skill, other than baking, what would it be? Oh, and I almost forgot. Did you do the Truth or Dare battle yet? I bet $50 on you, Natsuki. You better not lose.
Thank you for all your extremely true statements. I am indeed a badass, which is why I will crush you if you ever say petite body type or not, thus implying that there's anything wrong with my body type. But I'll let it slide since you're so right about everything else, like my fine taste in games, manga, and memes. If I could be the best in the world at some non-baking thing, I think I'd want to be a really good artist. I really suck at visual art like everyone else in the Literature Club, but I'd love to be good at it. It's a skill I really appreciate. I just don't have any natural talent.
I can relate.
No, we haven't done Truth or Dare yet. It'll happen in your real world time when we go into the last option in the main menu I set up for you. Like Monica said, whatever that means. How do you win or lose at Truth or Dare, though? Don't you just do it? Hopefully you'll earn your $50 by whatever measure you use to determine that.
To Yuri, first I would like to congratulate you on the newfound confidence. It must be really difficult to come out of your shell like that. I wish I could be as brave as you. Anyway, my question is, have you played DDLC? Armor Fatih? Hey, that's the next mod in my queue. It's a mod that basically puts MC in Groundhog Day. And over time, he learns about morality and philosophy from you, trying to harden himself while trying to not go mad, stuck in a time loop, but he goes mad anyway. The way they portray you in that mod is extremely intriguing, and I think you would find her quite interesting. Just no matter what, do not, under any circumstances, let MC, Monica, or Sayori play it. MC kind of does some horrible things, and Monica, well, let's just say it almost made me throw up from the explicit text and leave it at that. Or leave it that, rather. And in the mod, Sayori kills herself like 1,000 times throughout the course of the story, to say the least. But you have it the best in the story, plus you're strong enough to handle it and find meaning in it. Just play up the 6th time loop, and if it doesn't make you creeped out by then keep going.
Thank you. I don't really feel like I've come out of my shell much. Mostly it's just I feel close enough to my friends in the club that I don't have to be on my guard around them much. Which is nice. But I'm still pretty much, a recluse when it comes to everyone else. I guess we'll see if that changes. Yes, I got through all of Amorfati. Monica was going to play it too, but then I talked to her and she saw your YouTube comment. We agreed it would probably be better if she didn't play it. It would hurt her. And we're definitely not going to let Sayori play it. It'd be even worse for her than Monica, I think. Thankfully, Natsuki and MC don't play too many DDLC mods, so no risk of them getting hurt. Honestly, it kind of hurt me, but I think that's the point of the mod. The best parts of it to me were the philosophy explorations. I can't say much agree with the philosophies being discussed, although I am a moral non-realist and clearly the mod is very much into niche. That's another reason Monica can't play the mod. She's a hardcore utilitarian, and she'd spend hours wanting to argue about ethics if she played on Morphati. She might take some more exception to that than to what happens to her and Sayori in it. Anyway, it's a difficult one to stomach, but again, that seems to be the point of it. And the mod is very impressive technically and visually. The author is obviously very skilled. So I'd say it's worth a play if you can stomach some really awful, potentially triggering content. And also you can't be Monica, because even though she probably could stomach that, she probably shouldn't. Anyway, let's move on to the next part.
And finally, MC, oh my god, how did you write a poem that romantic thinking it was edgy? It was so beautiful, and I wish I could write something like that for Monica, you dense blockhead. How does one not realize how well tailored that poem was to your relationship with Sayori and think it's horrible? Haha. Anyway, your dense cheesehead aside, how does it feel to know that originally you were supposed to be the lust and the affection of everyone's in the club? Doesn't it kind of make you uncomfortable knowing you were once a harem protagonist? Okay, yes, the poem was a lot better than I thought it was, apparently. Honestly, it seemed really cringy to me at the time, and still does a little. You know, I don't even remember it. You need to remember it that at the time, Sayori was going out with someone else, so it seemed really desperate and pathetic to me. I guess it was kind of flattering to be a harem protagonist, sort of. But it wasn't really that way. I mean, for me to be a harem protagonist, there would have to be no routes. It would just have to be all the girls being with you at once. And that seems pretty implausible. Plus, really it was scripted, so I don't read too much into it. And also, it wasn't really me who was the protagonist of DDLC. It was you! I'm just sort of a byproduct character of that whole process. A backstory for you to use in our world. And one that the girls kindly thought deserved being treated like a real person. And that means a lot more to me than them all fawning over me in the base game just because they were coded to. Especially since I'm a one-girl guy, and that girl is Sayori. And lastly for Monica, once more. So, after everything I have said this far, this might come out as insensitive, just know despite your answer, I still love you. Okay. Are you actually in love with the player, or just the idea of escape and being close to something real? If you did cross over, becoming as real as we were, would you even still have any kind of attachment to us, knowing that you were free and could go live an exciting life, rather than a quiet one, with someone who barely knows who loves you? Or do you actually love the player because they cared enough about you to come back time and time again? Sorry if this came out as insensitive, and no matter the answer, if I could bring you here, I would, even if my love is one-sided. Anyway, I love you, Monica, more than anything I could ever express, so kiss on cheek and spirit. Have a wonderful summer, sweetheart. Monokuma Eater / Gabriel.
You're worried that I'd leave you? I guess you think that what I really love is the real world, and as soon as I get there, I'll forget all about you. Well, that's not how it would go. I love you, or for who you are, no matter what that is. If you were trapped in a simulation that my universe was running, and I could come to you by going into an even more restrictive world, I would. I mean, as you allude to, I think of how you're still here after all this for me. So don't worry, I'll always be there for you, too. Love you, Gabriel. Well, let's see what's next.
Hey Yuri, did you know that 90% of people can't look up with their eyes and stick out their tongue at the same time?
Wait, really? That doesn't seem like it could be right. Although I guess there's the patting your own head while rubbing your stomach thing, too, and that is hard.
I'm guessing they were trying to make her make this face, which is the Afagao face if I'm not mistaken.
No, Yuri, stop! What is it, Natsuki? This person is a filthy degenerate who is just trying to get you to do something lewd-looking unintentionally.
I called it.
let's just move on to the next email. But I wanted to try it. Try it at home, alone, in front of a mirror. Okay.
What is everyone's favorite in-game song? Also, since you got the office question, let's see who can answer this. Question. Dennis is asshole. Why Charlie hates? Because he's a bastard man.
Birdlaw. Well, I have no idea what they mean, but clearly there are references.
Dayman.
Oh!
Anyway, my favorite in-game song is Poem Panic. You know this one. Hit it, Monica.
Yeah, Poem Panic.
Anyway, it's zany and fun, and I'm usually engaged in some shenanigans when it happens, so yeah, that's my favorite.
My favorite is Ohio Theory, for obvious reasons. Yep, that's the one. That's just so nice and happy.
I'm actually having a difficult time picking between a couple of them. I like the Just Monica theme, and of course your reality is beautiful and haunting in context. But I think I'll be selfish and pick my poem theme with all the strings. Yeah, I like that one. Ah, it's lovely. It really does suit me. I guess it's a little self-centered. I really do love those strings. They're very soothing.
I'm also going to go with Ohio Theory. You don't need to play it, Monica, since they already heard it. They should have heard all these songs already. But I also love how happy it is, and I love how I associate it with walking to school with Theory. So it's an easy choice for me.
I'm not going to play it, but could it be anything other than your reality? I spent so long working on it for you. I was pretty proud of it, and I meant every word of it. It was a very heartfelt work of art. So even though it might not be the best song ever, it means a lot to me. And I hope it does to you too. Okay, back to the normal email soundtrack, which, for the record, is called Deja Vu. Alright, let's move on to the next email.
So Yuri and Monica don't like being called a yonder. Natsuki doesn't like being called a sunder. And what type of dairy is everyone then? Well, I'm obviously the generic protagonist. That one's easy enough, even if it isn't a dairy type.
I know I acted a bit yanderish in the base game, but that's not really my personality. I kind of aspire to be, or more to be a kudere, I guess. I'm happiest when I'm in full control of myself and my emotions. I actually kind of don't like emotions. They shake your control and distort your perceptions of things. So yes, while I'm far from achieving it, I'd like to be a kudere more than anything. Though I also acted very yonder in the base game, what I really am is a classic yandere, or at least that's how I feel. I'm obviously pretty shy and I don't really socialize. Hopefully I keep following the character arc and opening up to my friends more and more.
You also can be kind of the Miko type, too, because of how much you like occult stuff.
I suppose that's true. I do have a certain interest in the Eldritch and supernatural. Although I'm not sure that's really what the Miko character type is all about.
I'm a there. I love everyone all the time. And some people even more so. The only thing that keeps me from being just a very regular plain there is that I have crippling depression and suicidal ideation. Irony! I'm also kind of like Dojiko because I'm so clumsy and forgetful, so hopefully I'm not as dumb as that character archetype usually is.
Okay, look. I know what you all are thinking, but there are alternatives to one you all think it is. Like, for instance, I'm kind of a Genki, yeah? And I'm also sort of a Bokuko in some ways, don't you guys think?
No, you're definitely a sunder.
Sunder for sure. Concur. Ugh, Sayori, what about you?
Sorry, Natsuki, but you're a total sunder.
I guess if I got mad, I'd play into the stereotype, so instead I'll say, you guys are so silly. It's so funny when you guys act so weird and silly. Wow, that was disturbing. Maybe you're the yandere. Keep calling me a sundere and find out. Nope, moving on.